What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and I just finished up watching Tony Yoka versus Petar Milas, and this was a 10-rounder in the heavyweight division, and this fight was Friday, September 10th, from the Roland Garros in Paris, France, and this fight was broadcasted on ESPN+, and in this fight, Tony Yoka was able to get a 7th-round knockout victory over Petar Milas. I had the bout scored 59-55 in favor of Tony Yoka leading up to the stoppage, and I would assume that the judges did have a similar score as me, anywhere from like 60-54 or 59-55. Comment down below how you had the fight scored and your thoughts on the fight and your thoughts on Tony Yoka's victory and who do you think he's going to face next. But now to break down the fight. It was really just Tony Yoka walking Petar Milas down, landing body shots, some good combinations to the head. Milas was really trying to box, use footwork on the outside, trying to get away from punches and counter with shots of his own. That didn't really work too well, aside from the third round. The second round was a little bit competitive, but I'm going to be talking about the round where Milas got stopped, and which was, in my opinion, his best round of the fight until he got caught. But I'm going to talk about that a bit later. But in that third round, I did give it to Petar Milas, the only round, obviously, that I gave to him. He landed some decent combinations to start the round. Yoka did end the round, making it very, very close, landing some good body shots. And as I mentioned before, those body shots were key punches for Yoka, made Petar Milas's footwork a bit more slow, made him tire out a bit because he was really just getting hit and keeping his hands up and not really covering down low. And it was a problem. It did slow Milas down. So, Yoka was just walking him down, as I mentioned before, landing combinations, trying to cut off the ring. And as I said before, Milas was really just trying to box and counter and use footwork from the outside. And he did also come at mid-range a bit, landing some good shots as well. But majority of Yoka, or should I say, majority of Milas' shots shots to the head were really just partially landed. He did land some decent flush shots, but they weren't really too great. But Milas really tried working on like counter punching and stuff like that. But in that 7th round, Yoka did look a bit sluggish, a bit tired, and Petar Milas was just putting on a boxing lesson that round, landing counter punches to the head, to the body, starting at the round strong, landing a 3-punch combination of 1-2 and an uppercut. And he did also land another combination like that, except adding in the hook in there. And then in the last, I believe, like 30 seconds, after a dominant round, in my opinion, for Milas, he got caught with a left hook, I believe it was to like the temple, forehead area, somewhere around there on his head, one of those vulnerable areas that do get you really, really hurt. It got him wobbled back to the ropes. Then Yoka jumped in for the kill, landed a beautiful right hand, I believe, to the side of the head of Milas, and Yoka, or should I say the Milas, went down to his hands and knees. Then he got up at, I believe, 7 or 8. Referee obviously let him continue. Yoka came back in there, very hungry for that knockout. Then he threw some more punches. And Yoka almost actually did get caught when Milas was really, really hurt and he was trying to finish him off. He left his chin open. And if Milas would have landed that, I believe it was a right hand that he did miss, I mean, who knows? That could have really damaged Yoka. But good thing it landed on like the side of his shoulder and just grazed his chin, or just grazed his jaw. But right after that shot missed from Milas went back into, I believe it was his corner, and then Yoka went in for the kill, landed a combination, followed up by an uppercut that sent, I believe, Milas down to another knee. And then, he just sat in his corner. It didn't look like he wanted to continue, but then he did ultimately get up before the count of 10. And then the referee did stop the fight. I'd say it was a decent stoppage. It didn't look like Milas did want to continue based on his sort of reaction. But, Tony Yoka gets his great victory. In my opinion, the best victory of his career so far, stopping a prospect. And I didn't think he was going to stop him. I predicted Yoka winning this by unanimous decision, like a fairly competitive decision, like 97-93, 96-94, somewhere around there. But if it went the distance, it was looking like it would have been like 99-91 or 98-92 type of fight. But what is next for Tony Yoka? I would love to see him face like Carlos Takam, maybe even his Olympic rival Joe Joyce. There's a lot of tension between them. Many people think Joy should have got that gold medal instead of Yoka. I would love to see that fight. Maybe even someone in the top 15, like a Charles Martin. Maybe someone like Robert Hellenius, someone at that skill level. Maybe someone at the skill level like a Bryant Jennings. I do think he should step up a bit, as opposed to obviously fighting guys like Duhaupas, Milas. I know these guys are good fighters and they build up a resume, and I know Yoka only has now, I believe, 11 fights. But yeah, he's coming off being a prospect now in Petar Milas. It's actually a great win, as I was mentioning before, but I would love to see him face someone in the top 15, maybe like top 12, somewhere around there. And as I mentioned before, I know that I did say Carlos Takam, but that's just to compare how their performances between Yoka and Joe Joyce is. But I could see him facing Takam next. Takam's from France, Yoka's from France, and it's seemingly an easy fight, as Takam has fought on many networks recently, and I'm sure he could be easily made to fight in France against Yoka. But what is next for Petar Milas? I think he's going to face lower level opposition before getting a decent opportunity, like someone like a journeyman, a top 200 rated guy by BoxRec, someone at that level. I don't really see him being in a big fight next. So overall, Tony Yoka defeats Petar Milas by knockout to get his 11th victory, 9th by knockout, and the best victory of his career so far, in my opinion. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.